show. In Philly, Boston, or Baltimore, a chance for stage folks to say hello. Another opening of another show, another job that you hope at last will make your future forget your past. Another pain where the ulcers grow, another opening of another show.
5 minutes, please. Thank you.
It may be only 5 minutes before the curtain rises on the first performance of Oliver at Worthing's Connaught Theatre, but it was 5 months ago that the Musical Comedy Society gathered in their rehearsal room to meet the new director and start work on the show.
I'm not sure Mandy Chapman needs much introduction, but please welcome our new director. Thank you.
Well, as you can see, there are 4 of us on the team, and I'll spend a little bit of time about describing everybody. Yes, Dan is this side of the fence for this show. For those of you who don't know me and I haven't worked with before, I'm not going to bother going into it because you'll get to know me as we go along.
Mandy introduces the team.
Like I say, I've trained as an actor probably over 20 years now. My hairstyle goes with it, I know. And no, I haven't been home and away or neighbours. But I'm really thrilled to be on board. I live in Worthing. I met Mandy in Panto. I did Panto at the Connaught this year, and you know, it's fantastic that I've made some contacts through Mandy, and I'm really honoured to be part of this. And I know Oliver is a fantastic musical, and some of the best Dickensian characters ever written. I'm going to help sort of create these characters and perform these characters and make them real, make them come to life and believable, and we'll have a fantastic journey. And it's great to be on board.
Thank you. So Darren's my left-hand man, really, tonight, but will be there doing a lot of the acting and the directing and quite a lot of the blocking. On my right, I have Ollie, who is one of my top dancers. He was in Oliver in the West End with Russ Abbott, Griff Rhys-Jones, and a bit of Rowan Atkinson.
Obviously, I've been up in London doing Billy and Oliver.
Oh, sorry, I did forget you did Billy Elliot as well.
Obviously, I'm mainly working with the children, and I'd really like to get them up to the standard of what you are within the show, as I saw yours last week and I thought it was really, really good. And basically, I'd just like to be able to bring that standard and nip some of the bits of the choreography and really help work with them and get them better up to the standard, obviously, and just make it a really good show, and I really, really look forward to it.
I'm done.
Hello. My name's Dan. A lot of you do know me, but I see some new faces as well. A lot of you don't, so just those of you who don't, a little bit of background. I've been with the Society now for almost 9 years, and almost always on the other side, on your side, in fact always on your side.
Dan is supporting Ollie, who is obviously underage and can't be working with the kids without an adult, as well as being able to assist putting the guys' scenes together, the kids' scenes together, and getting some of the direction. I think you may have quite a cracking director in the making there, and I think this is a good opportunity for him to trial some things under Aaron and my guidance. And so he's going to be working mostly with the kids' teams, but obviously the kids' teams do interact with the main.
One of the characters that I feel quite strongly about is Nancy. I know that, and that's the next thing, is please do not go for a part if you are not prepared to get that script and get it learned.
Mandy covered the details about casting, rehearsals, the singing and dancing, leaving everyone with a feeling that they were in good hands and looking forward to the auditions for the part of Oliver next week. The young hopefuls arrive full of confidence, and Mandy's technique encourages them to hold on to that confidence by getting them all to work together as a team and gradually singling them out to work in pairs and finally on their own.
Stand up and tell me a show you've been in. Now, I know some of you have done lots of shows, so I don't want the whole list. Okay? Just give me a show that you've done. Okay? So up you stand again. If you haven't done a show, say, hi, I haven't done a show before. That's fine. I just want to hear your voices, see what you sound like to me. So, we'll start this then this time.
Hi, I've been in Oliver before.
You've been in Oliver before, and what did you do?
I was Oliver last month.
Whoa, okay.
Hi, I haven't been in a show yet.
Hi, I haven't been in a show yet. Hi, I've never been in a show my whole life.
Okay.
Hello, I've done Amos. Hi, I haven't done a show yet.
Hello, I've never done a show before.
You've never done a show before. Okay, that's cool. Now,
It's vital for musical director Nigel Newman to hear their voices. So to warm them up a bit, Mandy gets them to sing something very simple.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And once they've sung it all together, they're quite happy to sing it solo.
Happy birthday to you.
if you could just come over here, could we do the first little bit of Where Is Love?
I love that song.
Who knows a little bit of Where Is Love? That's okay.
Here we go.
Where is love? Does it fall from skies above? Is it underneath the willow tree that I've been dreaming of?
And now, joined by some of the candidates for Fagin's gang, choreographer Ollie gives them a short routine to see if they can remember some simple movements.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oliver has a large cast, and singing, acting and dancing auditions lasted for several evenings.
Your mother was a regular right down bad.
What did you say?
We asked Mandy about the auditions and why she was keen to take on such a huge production.
There were some fabulous auditions, but the show does require exceptionally good leads, and I really felt that the company had those leads, and if I could get a fabulous gang of children to follow that, then I felt that maybe the show really could stand on its own. I just wanted to take what is a classic show and do it the biggest and best I possibly could. Just finding the odd moments to tweak it very slightly and bring my own little moments to it where possible, which was quite a lot of fun, ultimately.
This is the 137th production of the Worthing Musical Comedy Society and the 4th time that they've staged Oliver. Peter Locke told us a little about the club's earlier history.
In 1939, the company had to disband because all the members were being called up to go to war. When they came back, 2 or 3 members got together and formed the Musical Comedy Society again, and off we went. I've won the 25-year, 50-year, and now I've got the 65-year gold bar with a medal, which Bruce Roberts has now got, and we are really the oldest people in the society, but we are really acting members. Although we're a little bit over the top, we are in the back row, and we do support with some little sporting parts. The society clings together because it's a family society. People come and they stay. They come because their girlfriends bring their boyfriends in, and then there's weddings, and then the children, nearly everybody in our society are almost related to each other. This is Gypsy, my favourite show. 3 reasons. The first, of course, because it was Angela Lansbury played the lead role. My son played Tulsa, and I played the back end of the cow in our production, and I've got my Oscar to prove it. This is my life. These are some of the shows that I have performed in, and I have performed, as far as I can remember, 136 full-time productions, and I think that might be some sort of a record.
Lindy Stannard has been chairman of the Society for the last couple of years and explained to us one of the reasons why they're repeating the production of Oliver.
The stakes are very high, and it's costing about 50,000 for every show to put on, so we can't afford to do too many shows that will run at a loss. And we know now from past experience which shows are likely to be profitable and which aren't. So we will take a punt now and then, and we'll do a show for the sake of the members, for the sake of the art of theatre. We'll do a show that we know we won't make money on, or in fact we know we'll lose money on. But then we've got to balance that with the surefire favourites, and Oliver is one of those.
The parts of Oliver and the Artful Dodger are very strenuous, and 7 performances in a week may not only be illegal, but could exhaust any young actor. And so 2 Olivers and 2 Dodgers have to be rehearsed, and they will alternate for each performance.
I go to a school called Downsbrooks Middle School. Yeah, it's a really good school. I go to a school, I go to Starton High School. It's also a really good school.
Having to rehearse 4 children for 2 characters can complicate the rehearsal schedule, as Daniel explains.
Work with children is it poses challenges. Obviously, it's very rewarding. It's great kind of to see the journey for the kids for when they're go from kind of the beginning to the end, and you kind of see them on that stage, and it's a wonderful feeling. But yeah, the difficulty comes in kind of trying to get the kids and the adults together, because you don't want you can't have the kids too late for rehearsals. Can't call them too late because obviously they have bedtimes, they have school and stuff the next morning. You can't call the adults too early because obviously everyone's doing this as a voluntary thing. This is something that people do for the love of it. They have day jobs, so you can't kind of expect people to come in at necessarily 6 o'clock when they've just finished work, come straight over, because that's when you've called the kids.
Well, we were there sharp at 6 one evening to watch Ollie setting a routine with both Olivers and Artful Dodgers. With the auditions now virtually complete, rehearsals are becoming much more serious.
Right, so we should have bases. We'll have Consider Yourself. Do you remember? Do we remember here? Bases, we had Consider Yourself, Consider Yourself.
As an experienced choreographer, Mandy set the big production numbers and explains how she split up the enormous amount of work with her production team.
I did quite a lot of the choreography. I just didn't do all of the repetition and rehearsal training. There's quite a difference. And I took on the big numbers, but basically I knew that the show was going to be so big to do and needing so many hours, I felt that I needed support and help to make sure that the numbers were accurate. And I absolutely love bringing on new talent. It's always been something that I've really encouraged. So when I saw that Ollie was really up for the job and very eager, I felt it would be an ideal vehicle for him to cut his teeth on. I know he's young, but he's exceptionally talented. And I work very well with him, and it's proved to be very, very good. And that was another reason why I agreed to the show, was because I knew I could find such a tremendous team to bring to it, which includes Dan, who was also fantastic as well. Darren was there to develop the characters, work on the very deep sides of some of the characters and some of the innuendo in the dialogue, and to rehearse that and to block it for me. And Dan was there to help liaise with the children. He did a lot of work with the children, and he did a lot of work with me behind the scenes. What was seen at rehearsals was probably less than half of the amount of time that was actually put in by the team.
Dennis Fuller explains how lucky the Society is to have its own rehearsal room.
It's a wonderful thing to have our own base. I don't think there are any other societies in the area who have actually got their own rehearsal studio. The only other company that I know is Lancing Rep. So we're in a very fortunate position that we totally own the building. So.
Could you just try something else, Wayne? Very good. Give me a line to Fagin. So
It may be a musical, but the acting scenes in Oliver are equally important, and Darren is working here with 3 of the principals. The part of Fagin is played by Andy Roberts, who's currently vice-chairman of the Society. In this production, his wife, Tandy, is in charge of the chaperones who care for all the children.
We have to fulfil the county council requirements for children performing in an amateur production, which is quite stringent. So there are very tight rules on the number of hours children can perform, the number of breaks they have to have, the number of performances they can do, how many people have to be looking after them, etc, etc. And they actually have to get a licence to perform, so we have to apply for that, which involves things like getting permission from their school for them to have time off for matinees and for rehearsals, and to be adequately supervised while they're at the theatre. We have a youth company as well, yeah. We have 60 children aged between 8 and 16, and they meet here every Saturday morning for workshops. So we hire professionals in to do different workshops with them in acting, singing, dancing, all sorts of things, circus skills, lighting, all sorts of things. And then they have a production each year. So last year they did Disney's Jungle Book, and this year they're doing a showcase, so extracts from different musicals in a few weeks' time. The guy who's playing Bill Sykes in this production, Wayne, joined as one of the boys in that, Oliver.
Yes, you will, Wayne. Okay. Wayne, just try walking around all the time. Yeah. So it's just a beat. Yeah. So you're into it. She'll go Fagin.
She won't Fagin.
Oh no, she will. Fagin. So just walk around. Yeah. It is quite difficult, I suppose, to sort of create the characters, but in the back of your mind, as I said, we know what we want, and that will help. We get the right sort of character, the right actor to play these. We can work with them, and that's what the rehearsal process is all about. The workshop, and we can go over the top with the characters and then bring them back down and try different things in rehearsals. That's what me and Dan will be doing, or are doing at the moment.
The death of Nancy will look sinister and frightening on the stage, but every move has to be meticulously worked out in the cold light of the rehearsal room.
Hold on that, as long as he needs me.
Don't take it back, Bill, please. Let him go, for Pete's sake, let him go. Why are you looking at me like that? What's going to blow the gap? I promise you, I wasn't. I wouldn't say nothing. Bill!
A scene in the tavern where everyone gets a little tipsy is perhaps a bit more cheerful.
There's a little ditty they're singing in the city, especially when they win on the gin or the beer. You got the patience, your own imaginations will tell you just exactly what you want to.
It wasn't until I came to the auditions that I could see quite how strong Nancy was going to be, that I needed a good, strong vet who would look plausible as her friend and supporter rather than another of Fagin's gang, although it did occur to me to put a couple of good teens into Fagin's gang, have the girls be their regular and just pop out and do a vet bit as well, but I plumped for the friend, which I feel it worked for me, so it made me pleased.
So the rehearsals continue, and the days just fly past. Suddenly, opening night on the 21st of October seems to be approaching with unreasonable speed, and there are hundreds of jobs still to be done.
So my name's Elspeth Bunker, and my job is props manager. So I look after the garage that we've got where we store loads and loads of props, and then I spend a lot of time going around charity shops and car boot sales, trying to get all the things that the directors ask for the props, and trying to keep it as authentic as possible. So things like trying to find an authentic Gladstone bag and that sort of
I'm Caroline, I do the makeup for the shows. This show is particularly challenging with Fagin, Bill Sykes, and of course the dog, who must have a black eye. I have 3 assistants with me, and one of the girls is from college, who finds it hard to get practical experience and really enjoys it.
On the subject of Bill Sykes' dog, the part of Bullseye is played by Woody, who passed his audition with flying colours.
We've done a mixture this year of hiring things from local companies. We're probably going to hire some things from professional companies and making some bits for this production. One of the biggest challenges is that we've got 50 workhouse children to clothe for this production. And of course, children being children tend to grow, especially in the summer holidays. So we've had to leave it till this late point to actually start measuring them. So now it's left us with rather little time to make 50 outfits. But
Alison Wiles looks after the ticket sales, and Emily Brown ensures that the members keep their subscriptions up to date.
We've got 1 or 2 smarter outfits for the ladies in Who Will Buy. That's going to be a number which is where they are going to be dressed fairly grand Victorians.
And if anyone does have time for a brew-up, there'll be plenty of members to help them drink it. Before the scenery can be unloaded on the Sunday, the day before the dress rehearsal, the lights on the stage have to be rigged. Once the overhead lights are in place, the scenery is unloaded and the build starts, ready for the technical walkthrough in the evening. Upstairs, the Fraser Bar in the Connaught is turned into a music studio for the band call.
You know, the drum, I've sort of, again, I've indicated a bit of how it goes, but really, I need that. So I just said I've done a load of...
Nigel has sorted out the arrangements and will take the musicians through the whole score. Members of the cast with important solos come along to try out their numbers with a full orchestra for the first time. The tech run in the evening is the first time anyone sees the scenery. It's all very different from the last 5 months in the rehearsal room and the start of a very stressful weekend for Mandy.
It's very likely that Sunday and Monday are going to be exceptionally stressful, and it's very likely there will be changes, because once I've seen what it looks like on the stage, that's the only time I can see whether what I've got in my head is actually working. And given the size of the production, the size of the set, and the difference in the rehearsal room compared with the stage, the only time I'm going to know is Sunday and even Monday. And I would suspect there will be changes of staging even after opening night, because the get-in is so small. Were this a professional show, we would have weeks just doing this.
The cast have had their final outside rehearsal, a full run-through in basic costumes. The room was really full, as the 50 extra children who are to be bussed to the theatre for the opening workhouse number of each performance were there as well. Some of them make their entrance through the audience. This makes for a particularly effective opening, but as they also have to be picked up from the theatre immediately they come off stage, it's an organisational nightmare for the stage management and the chaperones. Only the full dress rehearsal will show us whether this will work as planned. So far, so good. Let's fast forward a bit. Halfway through rehearsals, one of the boys playing the Artful Dodger landed a part in a professional production and left the cast. Fortunately, Harvey Lodge was old enough and good enough to be able to handle the role and play for every performance.
Anyway, what's the difference, me old pork sausage? You're coming with me.
Are you sure Mr. Fagin won't mind?
Mind? Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself one of the family.
There isn't a lot to spare.
Who cares? Whatever we got to share. Nobody tries to be la-di-da or uppity. There's a cup of tea for all. Only it's wise to be handy with the rolling pin when the landlord comes to call. Consider yourself and mate. We don't want to have no fuss. For off the top consideration we can state.
Consider yourself.
Yes!
When I see someone rich, both my thumbs start to itch. Only to find some peace of mind, I have to pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two. a pocket or two.
Tonight, any mistakes can be forgiven, and performing to the technical team in rows of empty seats is one thing, but rehearsals are now over. The opening night is sold out. This time tomorrow, an expectant full house will be waiting, and backstage, nerves will be at breaking point. Overture and beginners, please. Overture and beginners, please.